Alright, good morning. I'm just going to be going over the kind of the pre-market game plan here. Just making my levels. Let's see here. So this is ES. So on ES, the game plan is back above previous day high would be bullish bias. And then underneath this pre-market low area, bearish below there. Put this in the Discord here. Yes. Let's check out NQ. Kind of same thing. If we get back above previous day high, bullish above. If we get below the pre-market low, I'll be bearish if we stay underneath that. So and then obviously the targets would be just the zones. If you get above previous day high, you'll be looking for a move up to here, kind of near this pre-market high as well. You could always put that on there. So up into this area would be the main goal if we get above previous day high for a long trade. And then if we get below the pre-market low, if we hold below this, I'd be looking for a move down to this previous day low zone for NQ. And then we're kind of just seeing how price reacts at each zone is basically the game plan. So if we end up breaking below previous day low and holding below it on any retest, I'd be looking for a move down, possibly down to previous week low, previous day low for the full NQ daily candle down here. So let me take a screenshot of this. That's good. So that's kind of my game plan here, is basically looking at previous day high zone as the main area to watch. And then honestly, if you get over this kind of most recent resistance area where these sellers last showed up in the pre-market, should be here. That's kind of the first sign for me of bullishness, back above this basically 155 level on NQ. And then obviously if you can get back above previous day high, that's a key area to be above to be bullish, to look for a move up for the day. So and look at the daily candles here. So we have this massive move back up on Friday. The bulls step back in on ES and NQ. And so far we kind of got above Friday's high here. We're kind of come back into the range from Friday. So we'll see how we do off the open here at 9:30. See if we can if we can hold the bulls come back in, we push back up, above previous day high. Or if we're going to fail to do that and we come back into the range and get down to previous day low, New York would be kind of the first area to look for downside. Take profit. Monday. All right, not really any news today. Let's see. Where is... Here's the news for the week. So tomorrow we got 8:30 news. Wednesday, some red folder, 8:30 as well, non-farm. Thursday, 8:30 news again, unemployment, and then CPI on Friday at 8:30 as well. So most of the news is all pre-market, so not really much to worry about during the trading day this week, but a little bit of pre-market action throughout the week here. All right, a few minutes here until the open. So the only focus is really just sticking to the game plan here. And just waiting for basically a break of this range here. Just focusing on being patient. Start of the week as well, so I want to start it off on a good note if possible. All right, we got a minute till open here. Kind of underneath everything on the EMAs right now at the moment. But that could all change at the open here. We'll see what happens. So again, the only focus here is just following the plan. So if we break below this pre-market lows, I'll be looking for a move. As long as we hold underneath it on retest, look for a move down to this previous day low zone. And if we break above previous day high zone, I'll be looking for a move up to the next levels above. And there's the open. There's some selling right off the open here in NQ, pretty weak. All right, NQ is breaking that pre-market low. Alright, we're getting some wickage here so far. ES trying to flip back green. So seeing some buyers step in here at the moment. Alright, ES is pushing, NQ wicking. Kind of have all these EMAs and the VWAP above, so I'd like to see us get back above those if we're looking for longs, which would obviously line up kind of with the game plan here as well of being bullish above, you know, this general zone here on ES and NQ over here. Alright, ES flipped green and trying to push back up. We got the view up. Not too far off here. Just being patient here though, just want to see us kind of get out of this pre-market range. See which way they want to take it. Oops. So we'll see if the bulls want to hold it up here. Maybe we'll get a break above the pre-market high area and then maybe eventually previous day high. But flipping this 15-minute bullish so far on ES. Go lay down. Go lay down, buddy. All right, ES getting up near that VWAP. Kind of engulfing on NQ so far on the 5-minute. This previous candle kind of engulfing the body of it with this big wick down here and pushing back up. So looking pretty bullish right now. So we'll see if we can, reclaim the VWAP, get above these pre-market resistance areas, and then ultimately get back above previous day high from Friday. That'd kind of be the goal here for the bulls. And then we do have some sort of like a downtrend here as well. So yeah, kind of lines up with these levels. See if we can break that downtrend for the bulls. Kind of made a higher low here on ES, NQ, barely dipped below that pre-market low. Probably take out a few stops there and shoot it back up here now. So looking pretty strong at the moment. ES kind of moving above that VWAP. NQ's right back up to the VWAP here. Alright, getting that push up here. Kind of coming to that pre-market resistance on both ES and NQ. Got a few minutes till this 15-minute candle closes. But they're pushing it. Alright, ES showing a little bit of sign of rejection here. Kind of above this previous pivot. Probably just some profit taking happening. Yeah, current range right now on this 15-minute candle is close to 200 points, so Volatility still here. All right, ES. Trying to keep pushing here, it looks like. Maybe we'll get that test up to the previous day high from Friday. Got about minute 30-ish until this 15-minute closes. But it's looking bullish overall so far. Alright, we got about 1 minute till this 15-minute closes. If we get a strong close on it, could see a good push up if we get continuation above it over this 155 level on NQ. Pretty strong close there on NQ. Close basically right at the high. A little bit of a wick there. We can get back above that high. We'll get a test up near previous day high. All right. I'm going to take a quick long here on NQ. Back over this 155 level. See if we can get a push
Order
up previous day
submitted.
high. Okay. There's a good push. Oh. A little rejection there. Let's see. See if we can get a new high here on ES. Get that push up the previous day high. I just like that we had that little wick off, the VWAP, kind of breaking this 15-minute range above this 155 level. It's kind of the thesis behind the trade. See if we can get that move up to previous day high. Guess I can show my trade here. Move this stop up to here. See if we can get that push up to previous day high. Up near that 200 level. A little bit of rejection here. So I'm going to see us hold above this 155 area. Get that push up the previous day high. We got this 200 level right here as well, so see if we can go test up into that. A little bit of weakness here. See if we can push through there. Go test that 200 level. Alright, new 5-minute candle here. See if we can hold above that pre-market resistance here. Rejecting it, looks like I'm going to get stopped out. Alright, there's a stop out.
Order canceled.
Just couldn't get that push above the level. Back up. Yeah, ES kind of had a double rejection there. They wanted to bring it back down first here. Yeah, I wanted to see it go right over that level, so just wasn't ready yet. I had to pull back here, so we'll see how we hold up here at the EMAs on the pullback. Back down near the VWAP as well on NQ. If we can get back above that 155 level, I still like a long up to that previous day high. We'll see if we can get a bounce here or not. It's kind of the first test to see if the buyers are for real here after that push up. See if they can hold it up or not. pretty good rejection so far. ES kind of looking a little heavy here. Let's see what they want to do with it. Still looking heavy here on the 5-minute. See if we can stay back above the VWAP on NQ. ES is already back under it. Kind of at that 200 EMA on the 5-minute. Got about 20 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. Pushing it back up here. Hold on one second. Buyers trying to hold it up here. I have all these EMAs bunched up in this area here, so, and the VWAP. We kind of broke above it, coming back to retest into them. I'm going to try another long here. I like this 3-minute.
Order submitted.
The 3-minute chart's looking pretty good. See if this green candle can get a push back up. Get back over this 155 area. Or another fake out. 14. Not loving that reaction after that green candle, but we'll see if we can flip it back green here on this 3-minute candle. And again, still just looking for that push over this 155 area. And then up near previous day high would be the main goal. Okay, buyer stepping in here. Alright, we got 10 a.m. coming in a minute here. Love to see us break this previous candle high here. Kind of see that push up from the bulls. Five minutes about to be closing, kind of as a doji indecision type candle here, it looks like. See if we can get a push up here. Back over 150. Hopefully we can get back up to test this previous high. Trying to bounce it here, but I don't know, bears keep kind of stepping in. Having trouble there at that 150 area. See if they can hold it up here. Let's see if we can break this 150 level. Trying here. Another bit of a rejection. Not a great reaction there. $20 seconds left on this candle from the 3-minute. Not a great close. Let's see if they can squeeze it back up real quick. Wow, pretty choppy stuff. Still need to break this 150 to 155 area. 5 minutes looking a little bit better now. Still have about a minute till the 5 minute closes. We're kind of engulfing this previous 5 minute at the moment. We'll see how we close it out. Hopefully we can get a strong close and then a continuation push here. Kind of holding all those EMAs on the 5 minute. We got ES kind of back up, trying to push as well. "30 seconds for these 5 minute candles to close here. Just want to see that push up. If we get a good close, I want to see new highs made here. And hopefully go test previous day high. 10 seconds for the close here on the 5 minute. Alright, nice push there. Let's see if we can get up to that previous day high level. Right up near these previous highs here on Nasdaq. Let's see if we can get new highs. ES kind of rejecting a little bit at the previous high. Let's see if we can get that push here. Okay. Come on. We're close. There we go. Right up to that 200 level. I'm going to take one off there.
Order filled.
Just in case we reject 200. Move this runner up a little more. Right at that 200 level. ES making new highs on the day as well here. So I just want to see ES, see if we can go test these previous day highs. And just getting pretty close here. Come on. Looking good. Come on. kind of slowing a little bit here. Can we get that test previous day high? ES looking pretty good as well on the left here. Five seconds on a new 3-minute candle. We get that push up a little bit higher here. I'm going to move this a little bit above in case we get a quick push through. I think if we make a new high here, we can get a quick little push through previous day high on Nasdaq. Just need to get back over this 200 level and hopefully get a little squeezer. Come on, it's close.
You live streaming?
Yeah, what's up?
We're going to a coffee shop.
Okay. So I'm kind of just taking this first leg up from earlier and just kind of measuring to see if we can maybe get that same move that we had earlier, kind of for a target for a runner, which is pretty close up to this pre-market high area, or from last night. So oops. Let's see if we can get this high here from Friday. Kind of slowing down a bit here. ES is kind of retesting that pre-market high, 69.54 area right now. Seems to be wicking here on the 5-minute. So that's a good sign. trying to flip this. See if we can make that new high here over like 1 or 212, 213 area. Getting close. So we can get that push above previous day high. We got a new 15-minute candle coming as well. Come on, guys. All right, new 15-minute. Let's see if we can push this previous day high. Alright, there's new highs on ES, so see if we can get this push over previous day high. Come on, take me out there. Alright, there's two
Order
more
canceled.
off. Nice, got a runner left here now. Just gonna kind of try to trail this up. Hopefully momentum picks up here and we just kind of push up to the pre-market high up here. If we come back underneath previous day high, probably just trail this out. Either way, still a solid trade. ES is right up near previous day high right now. Right up into it. Let's check out the 15-minute chart. Let me get rid of this. So yeah, I mean, if we can stay above previous day high, we should be able to get a move up to this pre-market high area. It's okay.
Alright, take them out.
Okay. Sorry about that. So we got this pre-market high up here on ES. 69, 79, 75. Just got to break this previous day high here and we should be able to get a push up. I'm going to give this a little bit more room for the runner. Just in case they wick down a little bit and then push. We'll see if we can get that kind of measured move from the original push up, pull back, and we'll see if we get another leg similar to that push. Get us up near that pre-market high here, or overnight high, whatever you want to call it. Seeing a little bit of trouble here. Fifteen minutes looking pretty good on ES. 19. If you look at the hourly chart here, we kind of had this massive push up from Friday. And we kind of had like a little bit of a downtrend overnight, and now we're kind of breaking that and pushing back up here. So as long as we can hold above this previous day high, I think we can continue the push. So looking bullish overall right now, especially after that daily candle on Friday. If you look at these daily candles, just a massive pushback up Friday after the kind of big drop. Pretty good reaction from the buyers back up here, right off that 200 EMA on NQ. So pretty good push here. We'll see ES. ES is pretty close to its measured move from the morning push. But I think we're probably going to go test this pre-market overnight high, I would imagine. Still got this run around here. I want to see if we can get that near that measured move from the morning, or from the push earlier this morning, I should say. Let's see. $230 points about on that push up, so it'd be a nice one. Got some pullback here. ES kind of coming right back to previous day high, same as NQ. We'll see if they hold it. Might want to come back down to the EMA here. But I'm hoping it just kind of consolidates and holds above it for my runner's sake. Alright, ES flipping back green here. I mean, after a pretty good move up, though, you kind of expect some sort of profit taking. At least a pause. Maybe a deeper pullback. Alright, NQ kind of coming back below that previous day high. NQ back down to that 200 level. ES is still kind of trying to hold up there on that previous day high. But, I mean, we were definitely kind of due for some profit taking after a pretty good push there. So, this leg up, like 150 points on that leg up. Somewhere around there on Nasdaq. Let's see if the bulls can get it back above previous day high here on NQ. It might still need to pull back a bit more. Alright, we'll see if we can kind of hold this previous kind of resistance area here on NQ. Kind of back near the 9 EMA on the 5-minute chart. Kind of where we had this little push up here. See, we kind of whipped down, push, so some buyers stepped in here last time, so we'll see if they step in again. But overall, I just want to see us back above that previous day high level for continued bullishness today. Pulling back a bit more here. It looks like they're kind of trying to wick it a bit. I might look to add back on a long if I like a good little reversal back up. I still have that one runner. We'll see if we can hold this 9 EMA here on the 5-minute chart. But I mean, this is kind of expected though. After that push up, you're going to get some profit taking. We got 10:30 coming here in about a minute. So we'll see if we can hold up in this area here on NQ. Seeing a little bit of buying coming in. Starting to wick a little bit here on this 5-minute. We got about 30 seconds here till 10:30. Alright, there's our 10:30 start. Pretty good reaction here from the bull so far. Good push back up. So I still have that runner. I kind of gave it a bit more room for the pullback. So I didn't want to get stopped out like near break even and then have it do this, because that's what price usually does. It'll obviously goes up, and then if you had like an entry, you know, I don't know, if you got in right here on this push up and then price comes back to it on your runner, like really your stop should be under the structure, right? It should be still down here. If you just trail at the break even just to trail at the break even, a lot of times you're gonna get stopped out at break even. So like on the runners, like it's either trail it tight on these pushes, or if you're gonna let it go to try to go for a bigger move, you kind of have to accept the risk and not put it at break even. That's the way I do it, at least. Because if you just stay in the in-between area, you're just gonna get stopped out, and then you're gonna try to get back in probably higher at a worse price. So it's either like trail it tight on the runners once it's extended from the EMAs. So if I want to be tight on that, on the one contract I had left, or I still have left, you know, I could have trailed like the midpoint of these 5-minute candles or trailed under it and got out. Or if I want to actually go for a farther target, then you have to like leave your stop wider, because a lot of times it'll retrace back to these areas and then push back up. So, because if I go to break even with it, it didn't go back to my break even, but if it did and it stopped me out, then I'd probably be a little bit annoyed. And then that can turn into like wanting to get back in, and then if you take a loss after that, then that can go cause tilt, and then you could blow some accounts doing that. So, you know, using the structure kind of for your stops instead of like just going right to break even. I know some people, I think at the beginning of a trade, like right when you get in and then it starts to go, if you want to go to break even quicker. But like if it's pulling back, like you either got to trail it out tight or give it full room, because it's going to come back to your break even a lot of the time and just stop you out. So kind of get caught in the middle zone. So we got new highs here on ES. Good push back up here by the bulls. NQ's coming back up near the previous highs here. So like now that we have this push, like I'll just move my stop underneath this area. But like on this push up, I got in here earlier Like if I wanted to trail out my runner tighter, I could have got out underneath like this 3-minute candle. But like if I put my stop, you know, anywhere kind of near my break even middle area, a lot of times I'll get stopped out break even, when in reality, like we had the buyer step in here, push it up, so they could pull it all the way back to here. So your stop should actually be under the structure. I know it's kind of tough though to hold through that big of a pullback, but that's why I'm just only using 1 micro for the runner to see if we can get that farther target up here. I think it's important to like know what can cause tilt for you. Like for me, like if I do go to like break even on a stop and I give back a bunch of profits and it hits my break even and then goes back in my direction, like I'll get annoyed at that. So I'd rather just actually leave it behind the structure and have like the risk of like letting it go all the way back, or just trail it out tight. Like I said, it's like one or the other. But you have to fully be okay with letting it come back if you're going to go for those farther targets, because they'll do this. They'll drop it back down, take some people out that trail their stops tighter, get some bears excited, and then they'll shove it back up. So this honestly could have been a possible add area right here. We got back a strong close above previous day high. This candle kind of came down and wicked near that previous day high and then turned green. So this could have been an entry back above this green candle on that red to green play. Just got to make new highs now. I'm just going to hold the 1 runner. Obviously on this 3-minute chart though, like the ideal entry was back over this little indecision candle down here. When we kind of held this this previous kind of resistance here. Let's get rid of this line. Oops. But we kind of had this resistance on this push up, came down, pushed through it, kind of had a small retest on it here on this candle, and then the bigger retest, they take out a few stops underneath this wick, come and retest this previous resistance, and then bounce it back up. So if you're looking at like a lower time frame, like a 3-minute, 2-minute, whatever, wouldn't be a bad trade right here above this candle, just knowing that we're kind of bouncing off this previous area. So we'll see if we can get this measured move from this push up this morning still. Somewhere close to it, close to this pre-market high, overnight high area. ES actually, let's see, ES kind of already tested it here. So ES showing a little bit of relative strength right now. We'll see if we can break it and hopefully get Nasdaq up near to that pre-market high as well, overnight high. Yeah, ES got pretty close. We had this move up, pull back, move up. It got very close to that same measured move from the morning. See if they get it again. See if we get 3 legs. Up near 69.90 area. We got new highs here though on Nasdaq. We'll see if we get any follow through. See if we can get up near this measured move from the first push, up near that pre-market overnight high. ES is very close to kind of breaking that overnight high level, 69.79, 75 level. Kind of wicking a bit here on the 5-minute. See, 20 seconds. I don't love that that rejection there. So now this is the time, like, either trail it out tight on this runner, like if we break below this candle, or keep it underneath this structure. Let's see how this candle does. Kind of push, and then this body, you know, small body on the 5-minute, and then hopefully we can get another push here. Kind of fill this wick in and get some new highs. ES getting close back up to that overnight high. Very close here. See if we can get that push. Trying here. Starting to get a little bit extended though from the EMAs, so you know they might want to pull this thing back here. Got a new 3-minute here. See if we can get over this like 65 resistance area. See if we can make a new high here. I'm going to trail it tighter. I'm actually going to bring it up here. Just need to get over that 65 level here. See if we can get a new high. Okay, pretty good push there. Got about 30 seconds left here till a new 15-minute as well. 15-minute looking strong on the 15. All right, new candles on the 3, the 5, and the 15. Maybe we'll get a little wick down and push. Make that new high here. ES still a little bit underneath that overnight high. Looking like it wants to push it right now. NQ's close. There we go. Come on, baby. Give me the push. Just need ES to kind of break that overnight high, and then we should get a good little thrust. ES is close. Only issue is we're kind of extended from the EMA, so if it's not going to go, I'm going to get trailed out. Alright, I'm about to get trailed out here, I think. Oh, hold on. I got it tight on my stop right now. Alright, now I'm trailed out there.
Order canceled.
Okay. Yeah, once they kind of broke that high, I wanted to see it go. I mean, it might still go, but I just don't want to hold for a big pullback again. So they kind of like wicked above this high here, kind of wicking again. So I'd rather just take the trade off, kind of reset, and see if we get another setup. So let's see. Let's make these blue. Oops. It's kind of hard to see still. Delete that. Yes, my first trade was a loss. Kind of this red to green move. I was hoping we were going to push over this level here from the pre-market. We didn't get the push. Took the loss right here. And then got back in here. Looked like I was maybe going to take another loss. But it pulled back. We kind of took out this red candle, got in long, consolidated more, and then we got the nice push up. Scaled some at the highs, scaled more here above previous day high, and then held that runner for a little bit more on this pullback. Held it. Probably could have added somewhere in here, or even on the 5 minute. Or was it? Or was it 3 minute? Yeah, it was actually this 3 minute red to green play. right near previous day high. Little red to green push. That would have been more of like a scalp to look for the new highs. If I would have added, I want to take off, you know, the position, part of it at least, into these new highs. But anyways, I didn't add, and then I just trailed out that last runner here. So we'll see. It looks like they're going to still push it. We'll see if we still get that measured move. Up near that pre-market high. Looks like we're probably going to get it. I probably could have given this thing a little bit more room, but happy with where I'm at on the day right now either way. Oh, there's the push. ES is kind of testing that overnight high right now. So I just didn't want to get caught in another pullback, you know, down to the EMAs. That's why I started to trail it a little tighter there. Obviously, hindsight, it looks like I could have given it a little bit more room on the trail. But it's all good. Had a good trade overall either way. But yeah, now we're above previous day high again here after this push back up on NQ. ES is kind of right at this pre-market overnight high. Wouldn't be surprised if we get some sort of pullback to the EMA fairly soon. That's the thing about like trailing out. You know, you can always get back in if you trail it out. So even if it keeps going after you trail out, like there can always be another setup. Like that's I think the mindset to have in trading. If you miss a setup or if you get out too soon or whatever, just know like there's always going to be another setup. Maybe not right away, but there's going to be another setup at some point. Just got to be patient to wait for it. Like if you look at the charts, on most days there's probably like a few decent setups per day that you can enter in on, like on a 5-minute basis, unless you're trying to scalp every single move. Like there's usually like a couple decent pullbacks. Once there's like a clear direction, there's usually, you know, 2 to 3 decent high quality setups per day. So if you miss one, like there's going to be another one most likely. Excuse me. Unless it's like a really choppy, range bound, crappy price action type day. Obviously we're going to have those kind of days, but if it's a decent day, like today is a good push up, pull back, opportunity for a long, another pullback. I was already in the trade, so I could have added. I didn't. I just held it. But you know, there's always more opportunities coming. So no need to have FOMO if you miss a move or if you don't execute it perfectly. Like we don't need to catch every move, and we don't need to catch every part of every move either, right? Just take our piece of it and then move on. I'm going to get a little bit more water. I'll be right back. they're still kind of just pushing it up here. Still grinding up. That NQ is kind of close to that last push it had up. So that first push was bigger. Sometimes they'll duplicate like the most recent leg, but it's, I mean, it's pretty close to this pre-market high here too. So, oops. Now we're getting that push. Should have held my runner. I blew it. You can see we're basically up to that measured move from the morning now. But yeah, I trailed out right here after this kind of wick, but maybe got a little too tight with the trail. Because if I had just trailed the 3-minute candles after it makes a new high on the previous one, I would still be holding this. Alright, so nice push up here on NASDAQ. Would have got my target on that measured move from the morning. Let's see how many points I got on that runner. 120 points, not bad either way. Still a really good trade. All right, ES is above that overnight high. Let's go like a 30-minute. And the next zone up here would be, let's see, just around a little beyond that 7,000 number, but could see some resistance at that 7,000 area for sure on ES. NQ still not above that overnight high yet. We kind of have a supply resistance zone here from whichever day that was last week. Last Wednesday, it looks like. So this was the high from the regular trading session. All these blue, the solid blue lines are always like daily high and lows of the New York session. So that was the high from last Wednesday. So I think if we can break this overnight high here on NASDAQ, we'll probably get a test up into that 390 at least, I would think. But pretty strong uptrend so far today. Looks like we could be due for some sort of pullback, but it's kind of just like, kind of grinding, kind of slow grinding up. So it might just keep grinding. You know, I think usually I'm trying to get in on the first or the second pullback. They're usually the most reliable pullbacks. Once you get to the third one, you can still take it, but it's just from what I've seen over the years, the third pullback is less reliable for, you know, getting another good leg up. But if it's a strong trend, though, it can certainly still work. So, but if you look at this daily chart right now, let me just take all this crap off. I mean, ES is looks like it's gonna be pushing back up to all-time highs again here soon. So, kind of had, maybe last week was just a little shakeout before the push up. But I mean, we're above previous day high now from Friday, so I expect this daily candle that formed this bottom wick to kind of expand to the upside here, especially on ES because it's above all the EMAs, the 9, the 20, the 50. NQ has a little bit more resistance to the upside here with these EMAs. So, but ES is looking pretty strong. So we could certainly see more expansion to the upside here based on this daily candle on ES. So this could be a day where, you know, buying that third pullback could still work. But sometimes that third pullback will also be like a longer pullback or a more consolidation type pullback. So just got to be careful. And it kind of depends on the time of day too. So we're at 11 right now. So lunch hour in about an hour here. Just to be aware of it. The lunch chop. But we're just pushing up still here so far. Should have held my runner. It's the whole point of holding a runner, so you can just let it go. I got a little tight with it maybe there. Even trailing the 5-minute candles right now, you'd be just still in the trade. But I'm up like a few $100 on each of my accounts, so I'm like happy with the day right now. So I'm not like in a rush to try to get into another trade here. Just kind of watching for now. Alright, couple of wicks here on this 5 minutes so far. On NQ, you can see ES is a little bit stronger overall. We're above that overnight high, and the candles are looking a little bit stronger on ES. See here, got about 30 seconds or so on this 5 minute. If I do take another trade, it'll be with smaller size just because I'm already green on the day and I just kind of want to be in defense mode, just protect profits, not give back too much. So if I take another trade, it's going to be at the most probably half size. And then if I lose that trade, I'm done for the day, like no matter what. So like if you're green on the day, at least this is kind of how I think about it. Once you're green on the day, if you're like kind of happy with your day or you're near like a pretty good daily target for you, like if you're going to take another trade, like you have to like fully accept the risk of losing that next trade if you take it and know that like you're going to walk away. You're not going to try to make it back to get back to where you were before that trade, because then that's how you're going to blow your accounts. I've done it many times. So if you're green on the day and you take another trade, fully accept the risk and like size accordingly. So if you're up like $300 on the day, like what would you be okay with giving back? You kind of have to ask yourself that. Like for me, if I'm up like 360 on each account right now. So like I don't want to give back more than like $100. For the day, I'll still be okay with the day. So I'll use half size if I take another trade. But you have to fully be okay with that before you take another trade. Because if you're not, and then you take a loss, and then you're like, shit, I just gave back $200 after being green nicely on the day. Now I want to make it back. And then you start focusing on the money and the results instead of trading your plan, which is the opposite of what we want to be doing. So basically, if you're green, if you're taking more trades, just you have to know yourself and know what you're good with. For me, I like to get into like defense mode once I'm green and to try to protect it, use smaller size. And just know that if you take another loss, like you have to be okay with walking away after that. Unless you're okay with giving back all of your day, you know, but you just have to know your personality, know your tolerance, know what you're okay with. I think my internet is kind of going in and out. Sorry about the internet, guys. All right, we're seeing a little bit of a pullback here now. Nothing crazy, but NQ still has this overnight high. ES is above it. We'll see if ES can maybe come down and test it. Another thing you can do with the measured moves, like you can do them for estimating like kind of general targets, and you can also do it on the pullbacks too. Like the first pullback was that. We'll see how close it was. Pretty close to the similar pullback on the second pullback. I mean, it's not always perfect, obviously, but you can kind of get an idea. That one is a lot less on ES. ES kind of had some relative strength, so. But just to kind of get an idea of what you could possibly expect. But you can see ES, the first pullback was deeper than the second, so like it could be a trend that like the pullbacks are maybe getting shallower on ES. NQ is pretty close on both of their pullbacks. But obviously things can always change, and this thing could just keep grinding up. But the market does tend to kind of repeat what it does. So it's just something that I like to kind of keep in mind. Close that. Yeah, you can see like that leg to that leg, almost exactly the same, but kind of just getting a little pause right now, not much of a pullback. So it could keep going here. not much to do right now at the moment for me. Oops. Kind of have like a little kind of consolidation flag type thing on NQ. Three minutes looking pretty decent. It's just kind of like a little flag here with some lower wicks. Could be a good little scalp up. We just got this resistance here right above though, so risk reward not the greatest, but I mean, we might just keep grinding up all day. It could be like a uptrend day. So I just want to see a little bit deeper of a pullback there, but at least see ES. I was hoping to see ES retest this overnight high here, but sometimes they don't do the full retest of the level if it's too strong. So all right, we're kind of getting some rejection there on ES. NQ kind of wicking above the high, previous high here. So maybe we'll get a little pullback. Definitely looked like it was due for something a little bit deeper than this. But we'll see. Looks like the buyers are still kind of stepping in here on NQ. We got a new 15-minute candle coming here, 45 seconds. NQ a little bit stronger here the last 15. See, ES is definitely losing some steam here. So we might be due for a deeper pullback, possibly. Just have to wait and see what they want to do with it. They might just keep squeezing shorts who try to pick a top. That's always a possibility. Alright, pretty bullish close there on NQ. It's still, you can see the candle size, the bodies are shrinking. So it's just kind of losing some momentum. ES definitely lost some momentum on that 15-minute candle. So doesn't mean they can't squeeze it up higher, but we're definitely slowing down a bit. There's one thing I've learned is that the market will do whatever it wants, and it can do anything it wants, that's for sure. So just because we think something could happen, usually the market will do the opposite of whatever we think. So just kind of have to wait and see what it does at levels, and then kind of base the trades off of that. But overall, I'm still bullish as long as we hold above these previous day highs. So we'll see if we can get a little deeper pullback here maybe. But NQ is kind of just holding up. Looks like it might want to go run this overnight high level here. Alright, NQ's trying to push here. Let's see if ES can make a new high. NQ got really close to that overnight high here. But again, just got to be careful because we already had 1, 2 pullbacks. So third pullback is always a little bit dicier. But this is just this is more of a pause than a pullback here. Just a little small flag consolidation. Like a little bit deeper of a pullback on ES. Alright, NQ's kind of rejecting up there. ES is about to take out this low, it looks like. Probably come test this 79 level, 80 level. That's why I don't trust these. I mean, this tiny little consolidation when we already had a couple good legs up, or 1, 2, 3 good legs already, and then trying to play this little like flag, it's just less chances of it working out. It just needs a little bit deeper pullback, I think. I mean, it could definitely still work, but I'd want it to be that's why I want ES to kind of test this level for me to take anything on NQ. At least have like a key level to go with it. ES still holding this previous little lows here. Just barely. $15-minute just looks like it needs to pull back, but like I said, you never know what they'll do with it. But just definitely slowing down a bit. Starting to look a little better on ES now, a little bit longer consolidation. Still would have liked to test to this 79.75 level here. But we got a nice little bull flag kind of forming here. Just tough with this 15-minute chart. But, you know, this might have just been a push and then a pause and then maybe another push up. Maybe up to this 7,000 number into this resistance supply zone. I don't hate this for a long. Just have to be aware that it's kind of the third pullback, third pause, whatever you want to call it. The chances of it working are not as great as the first or the second pullback. All right, we got less than a minute here on this 5-minute candle. If I were to take like a flag kind of break like this, you know, I'd just put my stop pretty much right underneath this candle and just hope for new highs. I like that we're closing. We're probably going to close above these bodies here. We just got these bodies up here to kind of deal with. All right, pretty good close there. Maybe if we can come retest back down, little wick down into this area on this 5-minute. And then push to new highs. See if NQ could take out that overnight high. Alright, we're getting a little move back down. Alright, there's that kind of red to green. Now if I took a long here, I'd want to be getting in kind of as this is kind of breaking it, which it kind of is starting to. It's just kind of slow right now is the tough part. Okay, NQ looks like it wants to push that level. I'm going to try long on NQ, MNQ that is, just 2 micros.
Order submitted.
See if we can get a push above this overnight high here. So basically, if I lose this trade, I'm done for the day. I'm probably going to be done either way after this trade. I just want to see a quick push. I want ES to make new highs here, and NQ to push through that this overnight level here. Right at 350. See if we can get through those 350s. Maybe up to like 360. I kind of want to be scaling this a little quicker just because I'm already green on the day. Just in case they reject this overnight high area. Let's see if we can get through that 350 area. And this is also, like I said, the third kind of pause, pullback. So a little bit less reliable. Let's see, can we get on up into the 60s, through the 50s? Just want to see this thing get moving here above that overnight high. Okay, trying to break 50. ES is breaking that flag as well. See if we can get in the 60s here. We got 11:30 coming in less than a minute here. So just got to be careful. New 30-minute candles. All right, 15 seconds till that new 30-minute candle. I'm gonna put it there. See if I can get out of that. Out of half of the position. Can we get that new high here on this new 30-minute candle? Maybe up near like 400 on the other part, the other half. Make that new high. Might move this up a little bit. All right, ES, kind of doing the same thing as NASDAQ right now, pulling back a little bit. Wanted to see us kind of get this continuation here on this candle close. There we go. Come on. Getting up at 65. Got that new 30-minute candle here. Just want to get a continuation of the previous candle. And then 390 was that daily candle high on the New York session from last Wednesday, I believe it was, on NQ. So yeah, right there, that high, if you can see that, right here. So 390 will kind of be the next target. Oops. Come on. Looking good here. I like that we got that little wick, kind of making new highs. Let's see if ES just needs to make a new high. ES is close, just need a little push here. NQ showing a little bit of rejection here. Let's see if we can hold that overnight high on this little retest. All of ES is kind of engulfing the previous candle. See if we can get a little bounce here off this level on NQ. All right, new 5-minute here. See if we can get over this 55 level. Give me a little push here. Comes back to my entry, I might just close it out. So I don't want to get caught in a pullback. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I want this thing to either go or take a break even at this point right now. Looks like it might be a break even. Can we hold this level? Okay. Basically break even there.
Order
Just being a little
canceled.
tighter with it right now just because I'm already green on the day. Kind of just missed my first target there. So, ES kind of barely made those new highs here. And then, like I said, we kind of engulfed this green candle on the 5 minute. So that's why I was kind of being a little cautious on NQ. But it looks like NQ might still hold up here. We'll see. But like I said, the third kind of pause or pullback is a little bit less reliable. So ES kind of failing to get that follow through above the previous high so far. So they might want to pull it back deeper. Maybe come back down and retest this level down here on ES. Either way, it's kind of slowing down momentum wise. So I'm kind of taking my foot off the gas a bit. But, you know, this thing, it could just continue to grind up, you know. But I just, for that trade, I wanted it to either go or stop and out break even. Just because I'm already green on the day and we've already had a few good pushes up. So just being a little more cautious at this point after a pretty good size move up. So overall, still bullish, but just didn't get that good follow through that I was hoping for. 40. I probably got almost maybe 20-ish points, a little less than 20 points on that trade, but I guess I maybe could have scaled one off. But with the volatility we've been having, you know, I wanted to see just a little bit more of a push, maybe up near that 390 area, to make my wins worth it, right? I guess ES is kind of back testing this little kind of flag. See if it can get a bounce. It's like NQ is trying to bounce here as well. It's just kind of tough to enter on this. It might just go up to new highs, or it could chop more. But overall, still bullish. Kind of like an indecision candle there on the 5 minute on NQ. A little bit of like a hammer here on ES. But again, we're slowing down here. Like we barely made the new highs there. The 15-minute had this nice push up. Now these candle bodies are starting to get a little bit smaller. So it could be a pause, it could be a pull, deeper pullback. Don't know at the moment. We'll see if NQ can kind of hold above this level. But it, I mean, it does. It looks like it needs a pullback, but I mean, it could just keep grinding up. Just because it looks extended doesn't mean it's going to pull back. Extending can get more extended, that's for sure. So now we're getting new highs again on NQ and ES. It's just the risk reward right now is kind of tough because we're not getting, you know, that strong push above the previous highs anymore at this time. So we're getting closer to that lunch hour. We got about 20 minutes till 12 o'clock, a little less than 20 minutes. And we kind of have this little retest on this overnight high level on NQ, so could certainly just squeeze on up to the next level now. Yes, looks like it's kind of starting to pick up a little steam here. Couple more minutes here till this 5-minute closes, so if this thing keeps going, it could end up being a big 5-minute candle. But gotta wait and see on that. Can see like I got in long here, kind of a little bit of a later entry than what I prefer, but I was actually looking at the 5-minute when I got in there. Let's see. Yeah, so I got in, it was kind of like a red to green move on this 5-minute, just anticipating a break of this level, and I wanted it to kind of push, but they wanted to bring it back, so I just went break even on it just because I'm already green on the day, so just kind of in more protection mode. But usually I wouldn't do that right away. I would give it room to breathe, and I would have my stop down here. So, but just since I'm already green on the day, I got a little bit tighter with it. So we're getting that decent little push here. So ES kind of had that little flag, kind of broke it, came back, retested the EMA, and then getting that nice push back up now. We got a new 15-minute candle as well right now. So pretty good close on that 15-minute. So we'll see if we can get continuation here. Oh yeah, NQ's picking up steam. Nice little push there in NQ. Coming up near that 390 daily candle high on the New York session from last Wednesday, I believe it was. ES kind of has a little bit of room still up to this zone. So we're pushing. Looks like I shouldn't have gone break even on that trade. It's all good though. You know, it's kind of tough when they're kind of grinding. You're not really getting those good new highs that you want. And then now it kind of comes back in. But I mean, like I said, overall, it's still bullish as long as we're above that previous day high level. So sometimes it's just, you know, get long on a pullback and just fully accept the risk of the trade and just let it do its thing. Sometimes they're going to screw around, sometimes they're going to slow it down, consolidate, but like overall, like after Friday's daily candle, that huge green candle, we're just kind of getting continuation on that candle. So yeah, we're picking up. Momentum's kind of coming back in right now. It was just kind of tougher to enter on this like consolidation period. All right, NQ kind of tapped this 390 level. What's up, Nil? Good, man. I took 3 trades. First one was a loss. I don't know if you were here earlier or not, but second one was a nice win. And then third one was a break even. So nice. You take any trades today? Oh wait, I didn't show my bottom screen. Oops. So yeah, my first trade, I tried to get long in this kind of red to green move above this level, and it just didn't get follow through, got stopped out below the candle. And then second trade, got long here on a bounce. It looked like it was going to stop me out again, and then pushed up, took off at new highs, took off above previous day high, and then I had one runner left, got trailed out here. 4 wins, nice, dude. I'm probably done for the day. I was hoping this last trade was going to give me a little better push, but I got a little tighter with it since I'm already green on the day. Took a break even on it. So she's a little extended now. Are you done for the day? One last trade. Yeah, ES kind of had this little flag, broke it, back retested. Got a little bit of momentum back in here. But I don't know, like this thing might die off now after a pretty good move up, but we'll see. This daily chart on ES looks like we still got some room up. We're pretty close to that 7,000 number on ES. But man, Friday's candle is crazy. But we're still expanding to the upside here on the daily candle, so. Yeah. I know I probably could have taken a little bit off on this trade, but I was okay with taking the break even if it didn't go. yeah, you could see it was starting to slow for sure. 15-minute candles are also kind of, they're starting to shrink a little bit, getting smaller on this push, but we were definitely due for at least a pause, which we got, and then we're kind of just still going higher. I should have just held my runner from the first trade. I got a little bit tight with it. Could have held it all the way up to this overnight high level. Just ride the EMAs up. All right, we're at that 390 level on NQ. Last Wednesday's New York session high. I know, I think it might have just been a shakeout last week. They took out a bunch of pivots. Like, we took out all these lows last week. We had this green candle. We took out that pivot low, this pivot, came all the way down to here, right off the 200 EMA on the daily chart on NQ. ES obviously held up a little better, but still took out this pivot, so this one too, obviously. Take out all the stops and then back up to the upside. Just a healthy bullish trend right now. Getting over that 390 level now on the 5-minute. Honestly, if anything, I think if I get another trade, just put one micro on and just hold it till the end of the day. See if we get like a big trend day today. Yes, getting closer to that 7,000 number. Pretty bullish looking chart. Kind of broke that downtrend from the overnight and just back up. Yeah, we kind of had this push, kind of a little pause, and pushing again. Yeah, I mean, this thing's just kind of just straight up. Not much pullback here. Yeah, we're about to be getting into that lunch hour, so I'm probably honestly just going to call it here pretty soon. Kind of got a little bit tight on that last trade. Would have been a nice one, but it is what it is. Yeah, this might just be a buy and just hold it for the day. Looks like there's no signs of the bears stepping in here. I think everyone's just kind of getting squeezed out slowly from last week. Anyone who got short last week, better be getting out. Our weekly chart. Oops. Last week's high, we're not too far off from it on ES. NQ is getting close up to last week's open. Another 130 points-ish, which is nothing right now. Safe to say the buyer's about to dip there. Just texting Jose. He said he was going to be on this morning, but don't think he came. Hey, we got about another minute here until 12 o'clock. Yeah, he's a plumber. He has like a plumbing business, so sometimes he has jobs that come up that weren't planned or whatever. Yeah, at the moment, that's all I'm doing. Just trading. Yep. What about you? Getting a little pullback here. $12. Okay, analyst. What kind of analyst? Stock analyst? Analyzing the markets? Ah, financial risk. Okay. Well, then you can be the financial manager in here, or the risk manager, I should say. Keep me in check. Credit risk. Okay, that's cool. Yep, you're the risk manager, Nil. Well, my wife isn't here to yell at me to get off the computer. Oh yeah. Yeah, trading's the dream job, you know? But man, it seems like you're doing well. You could probably get to a point where you only trade if you wanted. Alright, we're kind of holding that 390 level. Yeah, I hear you. Takes time. I'm still getting there myself. I like this little push here back above that 390, kind of held it. Let's see if I can get in along here. Just look for a push to new highs.
Order submitted.
Alright. In along near 400. What's my average? Like 402, I think. Let's see. We'll see if ES can kind of get up to that that 7,000 number at least. Let's see if we can get this push on NASDAQ. The 5-minute charts are looking good. Let's go, baby. Let's get it now. Give us that push, NASDAQ. See, ES isn't too far off from that 7,000 number, so just got to be careful with that. Kind of stalling a bit here. All right, new 5-minute. See if we can get that push up to some new highs here. Yeah, we could use a pop, that's for sure. Just give us a new highs here. Not loving this. 400. See if we can kind of hold above this previous little resistance here on the 5 minute. Okay, good reaction there. Yeah, let's get those new highs now. Come on. It's a little bit from the EMA. It's the only thing I don't love about it. But I like that we kind of held that 390 level, that daily high. So let's see if we can get a push here. Come on, Nasdaq. Give us those new highs, baby. Three minutes looking pretty good. If we can close it, green body on the 3 minute. Closed it slightly red on the 3 minute there. Would have liked a green body, but need to get over this little basically 400 level. ES kind of a little weaker right now. It's 5 minute. Give us that quick pop here above the highs. We're close. Come on, Nasdaq. A little red to green move there on the 5 minute. All right. New 5 and new 10 minute here. Little inside bar. See if we can pump it. Squeeze out all these shorts that are trying to pick a top. There we go. There's a new high. Can we accelerate through the high now? Come on, one last good push here. Ah, don't like that wick. Come on. There we go. Come on. Yeah, I don't hate a break even right now. I'll move mine up a little bit. Come on, baby. Got 10-ish points there. Kind of seeing a little resistance. All right, new 3-minute about to be coming here. Give us a strong close. Pretty good close there. Let's see if we can get a new high. Got a little wick here, but should be able to make a new high. Come on. Make that new high. Come on, NQ. ES is very close to making a new high. Let's see if ES can get up to that 7,000 number. All right, here we go. Here's that push. There's new high. A little bit more of a push here. Come on. Two. Come on, baby. Yeah. What are we at on ES? 98. It's got a little bit more room up on ES. It barely made a new high. Just needs a little pushy push. Come on, NQ. ES looking pretty good. Need to get that little thrust up to that 7,000 number. Three-minute. Little wickage here in the 3-minute. Kind of rejecting a bit here in the 3. New 3-minute candle coming, and 5-minute and 15. All right, we'll see if we can pump here. Yeah, I feel like people are just trying to pick the top and they're just going to keep getting squeezed out. Like, it looks enticing to take a short here if you're just looking at this candle. And then they drop below it and push it right back up. So it's time to squeeze these shorts out. Let's go, baby. Squeeze them out. Come on. Let's go, Nazi. Come on, baby. Give us that push. 10 points. I want to get up at least near that 20-point number to take a profit. Or am I asking for too much? I don't know. Here we go. Come on. Take that high out. Struggling a little bit here. Yeah, ES is having a little trouble here at this like 98 level. I want to try to get one of these off and then let the other one have room to work. Come on, baby. Not loving these wicks here on the 3-minute. 20 seconds on the 3-minute close. All right, new 3-minute. Got a little green body. Let's see if we can accelerate over this 410. Come on. Over 410 and go. Okay, here we go. Come on. Take these wicks out. There we go. It's close. It wants it. Come on, ES. Make a new high. Man, this thing, it's trying. All right, going near break even here. I want this thing to either go or I'm going to get another break even-ish. You took it? New 5-minute, new 10-minute. All right. Trailed out there. 10 points.
Order canceled.
Yeah, it just didn't want to go. It tried. I ended up getting a couple points, I guess, but yeah, it's just kind of just grinding up here. Not really enough range for like great scalping right now. It's probably still just get long and kind of fully accept the risk and hope the trend keeps going. Yeah. Yeah, all these wicks on the 3-minute. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections, so Here's some selling coming in for sure. Which we haven't had like a much of a pullback really since 10:15ish. All right, Nil. Sounds good, buddy. We'll see you probably tomorrow. Then have a good sleep, man. We'll see you soon, man. Thanks for coming on. All right, buddy. Thanks. I'm probably going to be calling it here shortly as well. We're kind of retesting that 390 level again. So basically my last two trades were break evens. Long here, out. Long here, out. Could have been like tiny little wins, but guess you got to fully accept the risk if you're going to take the trade, I guess. But since I'm already green on the day, I've just been kind of tighter with my stop with trailing it. Looks like this 5 minute, they're trying to kind of wick it. Kind of came back to retest this little area. There's kind of a little resistance. Kind of turning into support now. But it's just not a lot of range right now to be playing anything, to be honest. So I'm probably going to call it here. Keep my day green. Solid day overall still. Had, I guess, 4 trades overall. First one was a loss here. Tried getting long on this kind of red to green above this level. We just didn't get follow through. Got stopped out underneath the candle on the 3 minute chart. And then second trade, we kind of took out this red candle with the green, kind of back near the EMA, so I took a long. Stop was down here. I thought I was going to get stopped. It looked like I was going to go 0-2 to start. But then we ended up pushing up here nicely. Scaled out new highs, scaled out above the previous day high, green level. Then I had one runner left, and I got trailed out right here when we kind of failed to get above this high and changed back green to red on this candle. I probably got a little tight with my trail, but it was still a good trade overall. I think that one was, first scale was like over 50 points. Second one, almost 100 points, 95. And I got trailed out 120 points-ish. Then my first trade, the loss was like 47, 45, 46, 47 points. So obviously some more volatile conditions call for wider stops. So so those were basically my first two trades, and then had a couple break evens here. Got long here, break even. Long here, break even. So this one I probably could have let it see if we could hold the EMA and near this level, but since I was already green on the day, I just wanted to be a little bit tighter with it. So that kind of costed me another win, but it is what it is. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks everyone that tuned in and watched today. If you're rewatching this, I'm basically trading live every day. I've been starting around 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, but I'm going to trying to start a little bit earlier and kind of go over the game plan before the market opens at 9:30 for the stock market. So if you guys want to tune in, probably start around 9:15, 9:20 each day, go over a game plan, and then trade the first few hours of the day on most days. So If you guys haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button so you guys can get notified, when I go live. And thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. And if you guys do buy any prop firms, evals or whatnot, Apex is 80% off right now. Lucid's 40% off. I think your first 5 with Lucid, and then after that I think it goes down to 30%. But prop firms are a great way to kind of work on your skills for a very small amount of risk, right? So instead of putting like $1,000 in a live account, you can put, you can buy an eval for 50, usually less than $100 you can get an evaluation account. You can kind of work on having some skin in the game, but just working on good habits, building skills, and then eventually start getting some payouts. But if you're just starting out, I wouldn't be, buying a bunch of evals. I would be taking it slow. Take it one eval at a time until you get some consistency and get some payouts. And then after that, once you start getting payouts, then you can start to scale and start to buy more accounts. So, but I appreciate it, guys, if you end up using my code Timbo. If I brought you any value with the live streams or any of my videos, just here to try to help you guys. So, all right, guys, I'm going to call it here. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day. All right, guys, see ya.